Hello and welcome to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Gilbert. Joining me, as usual, is my co-host, Joel Meyer. Got the conference finals preview here, but of course, Joel, we have to start with the Leafs. What's the talk? How much are you enjoying this? Another just Game 7 complete no-show.
The Leafs, yeah. Okay, we'll get right into it.
Why not?
Yeah, it's been a very fun day here in Vancouver. It's gonna be a fun week as we delight in their misery. The Leafs. What can you expect though? What's that? 6 Game 7 losses in a row.
I think it might be it might be 7 or 8 now, and the Avs are the other one that have 7 or 8.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Well, you saw it coming, right? Like after Game 5, everyone wrote off the Leafs. They're already burying them, performing the funeral rites, and then of course they go down to Florida and play a good game and bring it back to to extend the misery, the pain of the Leafs fans. That's just what they do. So yeah, that was a very fun night yesterday. Of course, last time we recorded, I was in a pretty bad state, considering the way that the last few days had went. But no, Sunday was terrific. Saturday night, of course, with the Stars winning. Like I mentioned, the fucking crow landing on my shoulder on Friday. That was the bad omen and the sign of how things are going. But on Sunday, I was on my balcony smoking. This cute little Chinese girl smiled at me from the street. So I was like, okay, this is auspicious. And certainly enough, that's what I said. I said the Panthers are winning for sure now. And boy, did they absolutely steamrolled the Leafs. And of course, I was before that the fucking Thunder saved my ass there with a nice win. I mean, they were down 10, 11 points after the first quarter. I was fucking dying. I was almost like hitting the eject button, like fuck it, bet the Nuggets. They're still like plus 110. I can still get out of this. But no, I held strong. I maintained the faith, and I was rewarded for it with the Nuggets just absolutely slaughtering them all the way to the end, winning by like 30 points. Something ridiculous. Yeah, 32, I think. Very good weekend. Golf was shit, I guess, but I did end up betting Scheffler with some Oilers stuff, so that was okay. It's funny. That's the third time this year now where I say I'm fading somebody on the Wednesday show. I end up betting him, and he ends up winning. Yeah. Still a losing tournament all the same. And what else happened? There was lots of sports, some soccer stuff, but nobody cares about that, I don't think.
I mean, been a busy 2 days with the golf. Scotty coming back. I hit some boosts on him. So 2-1, 3-1 there on Scotty. John Ram though was the guy that looked like he was gonna give him a run for the money there with the winner without Scheffler getting down to quite a low number there, but he ended up being second in the golf.
There's a 3, 4, 5-way tie. Like there was a bunch of guys -6.
There you go. So Scheffler. I mean, OKC going to the Western Conference Final, got 4 teams that haven't won. Well, 3 teams that haven't won a championship, and then the Knicks, are they the 4th team where they won it way back when? So go Pacers, go Thunder there in those series. But I mean, what a weekend of hockey. Stars closing it out against the Jets. What a moment for Mark Scheifele scoring the opening goal in that one. We discussed that one before the game on Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday night. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the Leafs were going to be able to turn it around this time. I was like, you know what, I might put some confidence in the Panthers here. Ultimately, ended up doing that, and it paid off there because the Leafs just absolute no show. Like I said, in Game 7, first 25 shot attempts went to the Panthers. Leafs battled back there late in the first, but just those 3 quick goals really popped the balloon there, deflated the Maple Leafs arena. Jerseys on the ice, as is tradition. Booing the players as they're trying to salute the fans after the final horn and handshakes. You hate to see it for Toronto.
Yeah, you really hate to see it. I love the Austin Matthews quote after too many passengers.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're the
what are you doing, buddy? You're the captain.
Yeah, you're not doing shit. I thought the Chris Tanev was like the only good player for the Leafs. I guess your guy Lawton was
Lawton. They should put Scott Lawton on that top line because Matthew Nyes was active, but he wasn't doing anything.
Can't be worse. Yeah, and Mitch Marner yelling at everybody on the bench right after turning the puck over himself. Like you can only you can only yell and scream at your teammates if you're doing the right things, and he was not doing the right things. Totally invisible the last few games. Yeah, that was a hell of a performance by the Panthers. They clearly wanted it more. Like Marchand continues to dominate. He was arguably the best guy for the Panthers, along with Seth Jones was very good. That whole line actually was great.
E2 Lusterainen. I thought we're an E2 Lusterainen podcast now.
Yeah, we are now. Apparently, I know to the deep dive Discord, those guys were that he had some massive numbers for coming tonight, like 500, even 1,000 to 1. Somebody found a 10,000 to 1 on it.
That's insane.
That didn't last very long, but he has tied with the Marchand and Reinhardt, I think, for the most points on the Panthers. And yeah, he's a hell of a analytical darling. And yeah, the only problem is that Marchand will get a lot of the credit because he's got the big name pedigree, and he is a better player. And so whenever Lusterini gets the point too, Marchand is probably assisting or scoring. So that's the problem. You can bet both maybe if that's the way to attack it. Just that line continues to dominate. But yeah, I just thought that was a crazy number. So shout out to those guys for leading me in that direction. So let's go E2.
Yeah, Marchand down to 35 to 1. Lusterainen, you can still get 300 to 1 at some shops, and I believe here at DraftKings. But yeah, he's come down to 150, 100 to 1 some books. But yeah, I mean, he's tied for the team lead with Brad Marchand. Both have 3 goals, 9 assists, a plus 11. I know people look at that, and all those points for him are at even strength. Marchand has 1 power play point. But we'll dig more into the Conn Smythe stuff as we get into the series here. Just a reminder, the merch store is running a promo, 20% off for everything. Use promo code DGENS. You got some Hockey Line Podcast hats, headband, shirts in there. Make sure you check all of that out. Joel, any other things looking back at the Leafs or Jets or anything before we move forward to these conference finals?
Not really. I mean, Jets, we'll see what happens with them. I don't think that they'll be too active in free agency. They sell tomorrow. We'll see if they can sign Nikolai Ehlers, so it's trending towards not. We'll see about that. But yeah, Hellebuyck finally played a good game on the road, but it didn't matter. Yeah, I don't know, we'll talk about the Stars, I guess, but I wasn't that impressed by it. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, that was an emotional handshake line, of course, with Scheifele, and the tragedy that happened to his family. So, speaking of tragedies, though, he was the one who took the penalty, and then the scars scored on in overtime. So you got to feel for him there, just the way he hung his head in the penalty box after they scored. Brutal. Life is unkind. Life is unfair, but that's the way she goes.
Yeah, Jets looked like the Jets we know. I mean, credit to Hellebuyck turning it around there in the second round, 2 shutouts. Maybe he can build on that for next.
He still finished with the lowest save percentage, I think, and lowest goal save expected. Terrible.
Yeah, it has to be close to that because I mean, save percentage was .866. That's the worst out of anyone that played in the playoffs except Matt Murray, Marc-Andre Fleury, who each allowed 1 goal on 7 shots, and Charlie Lindgren, who allowed 1 goal on 5 shots. So yeah, pretty bad there for the Vezina winner, and hopefully not the Hart winner, because if he wins the Hart after that playoff performance, we're gonna riot there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, we gotta get to the puck buck bets here, of course, as well. Let me throw those up here on the screen. So just going reverse chronological here. Your big Leafs game 7 bet for 10 puck bucks there did not come through, so you lost 10 puck bucks.
My panderer bet. I was pandering to fucking Smitty. I don't know why.
Where's Smitty now? No, none of our sliders are in the chat right now. Come on.
No sliders.
But going back here, we both had some futures that hit.
Panthers series.
Panthers. I had
Stars too.
Dallas round 2. I had Dallas in 6. Dallas to win game 1 and the series. That got me back up in the black. Yeah, you had some other Panther series here as well. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know. But most goals here. I mentioned it before the podcast, but Sam Bennett in a dead heat 3-way. And a 3-way there with a William Nylander. So both of us positive on that one. Lost my Panthers bets in 6 and -1.5. Did that one last show. But yeah, I mean, so overall now I'm 20-34, up 127. Joel, 12-25, down 69 puck cents right there. So my big star is round 2 bets.
We got Willie Threesome. We got 69 puck cents.
Got plenty of good stuff going on here. Plenty of good stuff in the Hockey Gilbert podcast Puck Buck Challenge. All right, then let's get right into these Eastern Conference final, because that starts off on Tuesday night. So we have the Florida Panthers at the Carolina Hurricanes. Of course, let me get up the odds here on DraftKings. Got the Panthers minus 125. You got the Hurricanes plus 105 here. This is a series I've been going back and forth on all day about this one. I had to write an article, a predictions article. I said Hurricanes in 7, I believe. But the schedule makers here really did the Panthers no favors whatsoever. The Panthers had to play a 7-game series against the Leafs, played up in Toronto on Sunday night, and now have to go down to Carolina 2 days later to play in Carolina on Tuesday night. So just to start off, my favorite bet in this series is Carolina to win game 1 and Panthers to win the series. That is at plus 350. That's because the Panthers here, I mean, there's only 1 day off between every game in this series. So if this series goes 7 games, it'll be the Panthers' 10th game in 19 days, I think. Like, they haven't had a day off since before, or 2 days off in a row since before like game 4 of the Leaf series, I think. So they're playing a lot of hockey. There's also going to be, I had it in my article here, 10th game in 19 days, and they're 14th in 28. So a lot of hockey there in a month if this series goes long. But then you look at the Hurricanes lineup. Sure, they have Svechnikov, they have Seth Jarvis, but like their second line, their third line just do not have the skill. They'll get their chances. They'll get their chances against the Hurricanes, or against the Panthers, but the Panthers also have that depth, and they'll get their chances, and they have a better second line, a better third line, a better top line, better defense now. Seth Jones, Aaron Ekblad stepping up, and Sergei Bobrovsky isn't going to give up some of those goals that Logan Thompson did, especially late in the series from a bad angle here. So, I do want to see how this series plays out, especially, game 1, game 2, see how the Canes come out hot. So I'm not confident in any series winner bet right now. I like that game 1 Canes series Panthers. If I had to make a series bet, I would take the Canes plus 105 just because they're at home. They've gone on the road and won some games in these playoffs, and they've been great at home. But, I mean, the Panthers, they're very hard to bet against in any of the past 3 postseasons. And, I was thinking watching game 7, just the reigning Stanley Cup champions coasting along in the regular season, added Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, like a legit top 4 defenseman, a legit middle 6 winger. Both, Marchand has winning experience in the playoffs here, so it's tough. It's a tough series to handicap right now. I look to the Canes, but it's not very, very confident.
Right. Well, Panthers are a playoff juggernaut. There's no slowing them down. We saw how dominant they were against the Leafs, and especially in games 4, 5, and 7. And they don't look tired to me. I think they're just going to keep on rolling. Yep, they got no favors by the league, having to play 2 days after a game 7. Much like my Thunder play on the same day. They got the same unfortunate break, but they barely played anyone in the second half there. They didn't need a lot of energy to beat the Nuggets. So and the Panthers really didn't need much energy to beat the Leafs, to be fair. Certainly after the second period. So I think they just keep on rolling. And it's not a great spot, of course, but like I said, this team does not look tired at all. So I'm not too concerned, not too concerned in the Panthers being tired. I mean, that is the way for the Hurricanes to win. I mentioned the last show or the show before that the Hurricanes just got this easiest path with the damaged Devils, overrated Capitals team, PDO bullshit, and then an exhausted Panthers team had to play 7 games against a good Leafs team, while the Hurricanes were sitting at home for about nearly a week. But yeah, Panthers are a far better team. So minus 125, I'll take them. I'm not afraid of playing in Raleigh there. Panthers shown that they're a great road team these playoffs. They've lost the first 2 games against the Leafs in Toronto, and they lost 1 game against Tampa. Or no, they won all those road games in Tampa. But yeah, so like the Panthers here quite a bit. You mentioned, yeah, both teams are pretty deep, but Panthers have far better top end skill. And yeah, the blue line, even with Slavin and Co on the Canes, I'd much rather have Forsling, Ekblad, and Seth Jones at the top of the lineup. Plus, I think they're deeper there too, especially without Pesci and Brady Shea anymore for the Hurricanes. So yeah, love Panthers. No surprise here. I'm just gonna keep on riding this Florida team. Like they play proper hockey, and I think that they'll just dominate the Hurricanes, who are, you know, they work hard, but they're light and they're not as tough, not nearly as tough as the Panthers, who are they're gonna crush them. They're gonna bully them. So let's go Cats.
Yeah, I mean, if the Cats win in here, I have to imagine you like the Panthers -1.5 at +145. Panthers in 6 could also be a good look. That would be back at home at 4-1. Yeah, that's probably the way to look. Would be Panthers in 6 at 4-1, or Canes in 7 at +475. Maybe the Panthers can get it done in 5 at 6-1, but like that's something where, like I said, I want to see how the Hurricanes come out, how the Panthers come out in this series. Like, will it be just the Hurricanes being able to dominate against the Panthers, or will the Panthers defense be able to handle that better than the Capitals did? Because, you know, Chychrun did well, John Carlson did well, but the Panthers have, you know, experienced guys back there. Ekblad, Seth Jones are going to be on the ice for 20 plus minutes each. Like, they can move the puck, they can step up, but it could be a muck and grind game with if the Hurricanes are able to shut down the neutral zone. So maybe look for some unders in this series, but like I said, still want to see how it plays out. I kind of like this any game to reach double overtime at 4-1, just because, you know, the Hurricanes love playing overtime games, double overtime games, and could have a lot not going on in those overtimes, just like they did against the Devils.
Oh, 2 years ago, 3 of the 4 games went to overtime, and of course you had the triple overtime.
I think it was quadruple. I was reading before. I think it was quadruple in the first game. Yeah. So
I remember I had to go to work in the morning. I was like, "Fuck, it's already."
Yeah. Series total goals. I've seen more books offering, you know, series salamis here. 31.5. I saw it was at 34.5 at FanDuel, which you know, so there's definitely an off market there. I guess it depends which way you look in this series. Like, if you think the Panthers,
I love the under 34.5, absolutely.
Under 34.5, yeah, but at this 31.5, it's a bit more in a gray area.
No.
Quick glance at let me do some ad break and look at some player props here. We're brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees and no minimums. Plus, you can 100% approval for all betting deposits. You can earn cashback rewards. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And Underdog Fantasy is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. So sign up with promo code HGP to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's underdogfantasy.com, promo code HGP. All right, looking at the series most goals here. Sam Reinhart, 475, Jarvis, 6-1, Aho, Kachuk, Svechnikov, 7-1, for Hagee, plus 850, Bennett, 10-1, Marchand, 20-1, our boy E2 down here, 80-1. Like, you got Hal in the chat asking about some E2 props. Like, you know, 80-1, you can get 3 goals and get a dead heat there. Maybe I don't hate that. Shane Gostisbehere, 200-1. He's been good on the power play for the Canes, but I think Svechnikov at 7-1 would have to be my favorite bet.
Yeah, he's got what, 4 goals in both series, 8 altogether.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Panthers are they're very spread out, so Svechnikov makes more sense. So yeah, all the offense is going through him right now, so that makes a lot of sense. We'll see if it cools down after this extended rest. But yeah, I'd rather try and find a Panthers long shot for sure. Yeah, let's sure anyway. 80-1.
80-1, yeah.
I think his expected goals are pretty decent, like 3.5, something like that. So, and he has 3 goals. So, He can certainly score, and I love what that line's been doing. They've been much better than the Kachuk line. Yeah, Reinhardt, I'd like to back him, but it's too short at sub 5-1. So, yeah, I don't really have too much here. Yeah, E2 would be maybe a long shot there, or Stankovic at 35-1. I don't hate that. That's he's been a good playoff performer too. He's got a couple of season right in the playoffs. So 35-1, I think that's worth a sprinkle, I guess. But yeah, nothing pops out too much here. Oh, and shout out or thanks Hal for saying nice call, Joel, and Jet Stars game under. I said no way with Hellion net on the road, but yeah, that was a no sweat 2-1 game. So
yeah. Let me see what other props they have here. Most points could be an interesting market there, but lower odds. Reinhardt 370, Aho 4-1, Kachuk plus 450, which I don't get whatsoever. He's definitely still hurt from Four Nations. Barkov 450, Jarvis 7-1, Svechnikov 10-1. Marchand 35-1, A2 170-1 for A2 Lusterine.
I like it.
That's
all aboard the E2 train.
That's the best bet right there.
Yeah. Stankovic again, 150-1.
Stankovic is a guy that the Canes targeted because he fits their system, and he is definitely playing it. He's playing with Roslovic and Hall on the second line. Taylor Hall's been pretty good. Is he on the top unit? No, he's not on the top power play unit. But yeah, special teams going to be something to watch in this series as well. The two top penalty kills in the playoffs: Canes at 93%, Panthers at 89.5. So could be special teams battle there. I am a little bit worried about Bob in this series. It looked like he got a bit shaken up late in Game 6 from I think it was Sam Bennett going into him. He's allowed a few leaky goals now in the past few games. Hasn't allowed many goals, but when they've been there, they've been leaky. So I guess that's maybe a Conn Smythe conversation for this series.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't remember the him taking the hit, but I thought he's been looking pretty good lately. Yeah, terrible start to the series.
Yeah, terrible start, but he's been great since after the first two games there. Plenty of other props here. Players to record two goals. You got A2 at plus 380. So Hal's asking plus 260. You're getting plus 3 here. It must be a different shop. Anton Lundell has also been good. I imagine he'll be tasked with shutting down the Canes top line. I think they played against the Matthews line most. He's at plus 165.
Instead of just the 2+ goals, just do the most goals. Like
yeah.
Remember your Corey Perry bets, the 2+, 3+. Anyone fucking most goals, 125-1.
I should have taken the most goals. Yeah, I should have taken the most goals there. So yeah, and also like these series long bets, it's like just bet them game by game. Like you don't have to worry about any injuries, especially like these shots on goal market. There's so much vig in there. There's minus 115, minus 115 both sides. It's just like there's 30 cents there. You're just giving to the book. So I mean, if you want some of them, if you feel like some of them have value, sure, but I don't see it.
That's pretty standard for props, though, right? There's
a lot of juice in there. So Conn Smythe for these two teams. For the Hurricanes, if they win, I think it has to be Freddie Anderson. He's down to plus 550. You do have Svechnikov at 31-1. Aho 31-1, Jarvis 31-1, Slavin 75. But if God forbid the Canes win the Stanley Cup, Joel, who do you think is going to get the Conn Smythe?
Well, Freddie Anderson is the deserved favorite, but certainly not interested in that at plus 550. So I'd look down the board at Svechnikov at 31-1. He has 8 goals and he's getting a lot of credit. So that big number there, that's where I'd bet it now. I mean, yeah, if you got Anderson when he was like, 15-20-1, that's a good bet, I guess, if you're back in the Canes. But 550 now, it's too short. Slavin is interesting at 75-1, just because after the Four Nations thing, everyone's like, wow, this guy's really good. This guy's really good. So he's got a little bit of good credit, goodwill from that experience. That tournament, Stankovic
430, yeah, that's a good price there. It's not
enticing a bad price. For sure.
My boy Shane Gostisbehere 500-1. He's been doing pretty well on the power play. Throw 50 cents on that, win $250. Could be worse.
If I'm hitting a 500 to 1, I want to win more than $250.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, Jordan Stahl, Taylor Hall, 500 to 1. I can't imagine a Hurricanes coming from that long of odds. I think it is Anderson 5 to 1 ish. If they win the cup, it's going to be the Panthers. Maybe throwing some shots on goal on Anderson, him out dueling Sergei Bobrovsky a good bit, and his numbers are the best this playoffs. 937 save percentage, goals against 1.36, and he's only lost 2 games because you had Kochetkov in there for one of them. But that's also what you have to watch out for, the Panthers and these goalies, because the Leafs, I feel like if Stolarz is healthy for that series, it's completely different and they have a chance to win it. But
no.
You don't think so?
No. Wall was not the reason why they lost.
Wall was not the reason why, but if they had Stolarz there, I think it's a different series.
I disagree. Wall had one bad game, but he was perfectly fine the rest of the way. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
It's the core 4. You got to play him. You got to play it all.
Yeah, no, the core 4 gets all the blame. None of this bullshit. None of this, whatever. It's the core 4. It's Matthews, it's Marner. People are reporting like, oh, I'm hearing Marner's not going to come back to Toronto. No shit, he's not going back. He's going somewhere that he's not going to be, criticized for every move he makes.
Yeah. It sucks that they lose a massive asset for nothing, like Matthew Tkachuk leaving Calgary for nothing in free agency, but at least it'll be something different there in Toronto, because you can't just run it back again, even if you have to lose an elite player like Marner.
Yeah. All right, and then for the Panthers here, I mean, you got plenty of stuff to talk about. You got Bob at 9 to 1. You got Barkov 15, Reinhart 20, Tkachuk 30, Marchand down to 35 now, Bennett at 80, Verhaeghe 110, Luostarinen 300. Are you riding anyone besides A2 here?
Well, it was, Reinhardt, I think, is pretty good now. What's he up there? 20 to 1.
20 to 1, yeah.
Yeah, but Barkov, of course, 15 to 1. I think that he is second best there. Yeah, Reinhardt's been killing it. I think he deserves to get more goals. He's expected to have exceeded his actual. So yeah, Reinhardt's the guy. Of course, mentioned E2 just playing on that third line and just absolutely dominating. I think Dmitry Filipovich was saying that they've outscored the opponents 14 to 3, I believe, on 5-on-5 play. So that's quite impressive. And yeah, I just Bobrovsky. I don't think that he should be the favorite. Goalies to win the Conn Smythe need to have incredible stats, and he is nowhere near those numbers. I mean, if the Panthers just like stay all spread out, I think that Barkov just gets it by default, not Bobrovsky like a lot of people are saying. Yeah, and if it's all spread out, then somebody can sneak in with a big Game 6 in the Stanley Cup Finals by a certain Finnish guy with 4 letters in his first name, like $1 billion in his last name, most of them vowels. Yeah, so that's where I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah, I think Reinhardt's a good call out there. 20 to 1, 18 to 1 here on DraftKings. He's right behind Marchand, Luostarinen. They have 12. Reinhardt has 11 points. 4 of them are goals, and he has 41 shots, but he's only shooting 9.8%. I imagine he'll get a few more, especially if that power play gets going. I think Reinhardt there is probably the better look than Barkov at 15.
Yeah, and Marchand, I think, is not the worst play either, even though his odds have certainly come down from what they were to start the playoffs. 150 to 1?
Yeah, at least, yeah. Especially when they were down in the series, you probably could have got a huge number on him. All right, we are brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. You can dominate the NBA playoffs, PGA, MLB, and they just launched the WNBA. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Rhythm has some amazing deals going on now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off annual with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And we got the Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league with 6 double king rooms. Their holder drafted a cabana at Stadium Swim with $5,000 food and beverage credit, and limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club, and a reservation at the world's largest sportsbook with a $500 beverage credit for the league, plus a 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. Enter now until June 30th. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CIRCA. And mybookie.ag is your place to bet on every sport, including the playoffs. For the true DGens, you get the MyBookie money bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. All right, going over to the Western Conference Final here. We got the Edmonton Oilers at the Dallas Stars. Both teams here at -110. Joel, what are you thinking here in the West?
Yeah, going into the playoffs, I would have said that I would for sure be back in the Stars with the Ekholm injury and whatnot. But ever since the first couple games, the Oilers have been the better team in both series. I think almost every game. I would say they stood up to the Knights and in fact out physicaled them. And we know that the Knights are a very physical team themselves, big and strong. But the Oilers went toe to toe with them and then came out the winners there in that regard as well as on the score sheet. So I was highly encouraged by that. Their blue line has held up a lot better than I was expecting without Ekholm. I mean, Jake Wallman, we made fun of the trade that's all the Oilers did really at the deadline, but he's turned into a stud back there. And Klingberg is running back the clock. Revenge series for him too against his old team, the Stars. So yeah, he looks like he did a few years ago, and a little more defensively sound, I would say. I remember he was always a liability back there, but he's looked pretty good for an Oilers defenseman on the back end. So, yeah, highly encouraged by the Oilers and the Stars. They've been kind of like treading water, more or less. I don't think that they've really dominated any of these games. They got away with Hellebuck being an absolute shit for 2 of the 3 road games in Dallas, and he wasn't elite at home either. But yeah, and then the Avalanche were the Avalanche of the best expected goals for percentage still in the playoffs. But so that just shows how thoroughly they outplayed the Stars, and the Oilers have the second best expected goals for percentage in the playoffs. So yeah, I've been very impressed with the Oilers so far. McDavid and Draisaitl, they're on a mission. They didn't end the season strong, but of course they were injured and banged up and hardly playing, so you can excuse that. Plus, they don't care about finishing second or third. As long as they get to play the Kings in the first round, they're happy. And yeah, they look really good. So I think they're the better team. They won this series last year in 6, and I think that they're just as good now. They're playing equally as well anyway. And yeah, they're getting goaltending with Skinner. He hasn't let a goal in since he was pulled in the first series. So yeah, back-to-back shutouts there for old Stewie Skin. And, of course, Pickard will be coming back. So if Skinner does revert back to how he played against the Kings, then they'll have that option there. Captain Picard to the rescue. Yeah, I really like the Oilers here. Jake Ottinger was very good against the Jets. I think he's second goal save above expected in the playoffs behind Freddie. But, yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of what the Stars doing right now. Maybe Heiskanen, him coming back will be helpful. He looked like he was playing well there when after the first came back. So yeah, maybe the Stars can play more like they were playing like in January, February when they looked like one of the best teams in the league. But we haven't seen that in a while. Coincidentally, that's also when Heiskanen went down. So maybe that's just it. But yeah, and they just have the option of Rantanen going nuke. Like that's the only reason why they won those 2 games with his hat tricks, him just taking over the game, which is always possible. But who else could do that? Fucking McDavid and Draisaitl. So, yeah, give me the Oilers here at -110. I think that's a good bet.
Yeah, completely echo what you said about, coming into the playoffs. Knowing this was the Western Conference final matchup, I would clearly think I would be taking the Stars. I feel like, the Oilers but the Oilers have completely changed their kind of dynamic. They can win a high-scoring game. They can slow it down, slog it up, and win a 1-0 game in overtime, on the road in one of the hardest places to play in Vegas. Like they've been great on the road, winning all 3 road games in Vegas, winning the game in LA there in game 5 as well. So a lot's being made about the Panthers, having 17 different guys scoring a goal, but the Oilers right there, 16 players scored a goal, 19 players recorded a point. The big thing on them in recent years is okay, you have McDavid and Draisaitl, but who else? And this year they have a huge roster there of who else. You got Nugent Hopkins and Hyman now on the top line. You got Draisaitl carrying the second line somehow with Podkolzin and Kapanen, Evander Kane showing up, Connor Brown, Corey Perry, and Matthias Ekholm. It looks like he might be back. He was a full participant in practice today for the Oilers. He said he didn't think he'd be back by now. So if he's back in this series, love them even more here. And yeah, they can beat you whatever way they have to. Like they can, they can come back from a deficit, even to go down 2-0 in a series like we saw in LA there. So
sorry to cut you off. Knobloch said maybe game 3, but he's a fucking liar. So
exactly, yeah, no, exactly. No, I expected you to hop in with something. I do appreciate that. Yeah, but even without him, like you said, Jake Wallman's been good. Brett Kulak's been holding his own on that top pair with Bouchard, John Klingberg, Darnell Nurse has been respectable. Like the Oilers look like the real deal. I mean, the question mark is still in net. And, I'm kind of encouraged by Stuart Skinner getting, the benching and coming back and turning into a brick wall out of the way before this series. So we don't have to make a question of that. So, yeah, I think in a pick 'em here, Stars have home ice advantage, but the Oilers have, shoved home ice advantage right back in the faces of Vegas and LA. So I like Edmonton here. Dallas, like you said, they have Rantanen, but they have, their 2 other lines have not shown up whatsoever. Jamie Benn, 1 point. Robertson, 1 point. Like they have not done anything their second and third line. So maybe Heiskanen shows up. Maybe we're talking differently after a few games in this series, but the Oilers look like they're out for blood and they want to get back to the Stanley Cup final and not lose it this time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if Rupe Hintz can do as good of a job as Kopitar and Deneau and Eichel have done on McDavid in particular. I don't think that he can. We saw last year that he didn't really. Like McDavid was all over the place, all over the ice against them. So yeah, I don't think that Hintz is quite as good as those guys in terms of shutting elite talent down. So that's certainly a matchup I'm interested in seeing, and one that I think the Oilers would come out ahead in.
Yeah, I wonder if the Stars, Pete DeBoer, considers breaking up that top line and, splitting up Hintz and Rantanen, getting Rantanen maybe less defensive responsibilities, better matchups there. But yeah, also looking at, you mentioned the expected goals, Colorado was the best against the Stars, and the Oilers are right there, 58.08% as well. Like they've been driving play 7-3. They've been great here in the playoffs. I'm not sure why it says 7. I'm not sure why it only has 10 games, so it should be 8 wins there. But also another big thing to watch though is the special teams for the Oilers. Last year, their penalty kill was perfect into the Stanley Cup final. This year, they're at a 66% clip. So that's going to be something to watch.
Well, they only scored like 1 power play goal against the Knights, right?
The Stars?
Yeah, no, the Oilers.
The Oilers, yeah. Well, the Knights don't take a ton of power plays either, or penalties, but Edmonton's power play is still 25%. I mean, their power play has been decent.
I think it just destroyed the Kings. I thought it was pretty bad against the Knights, but
let me see if I'll get their game log up here. It's quite.
I expect it'll be better against the Stars. Is my point. Yeah. It'll regress positively.
Yeah, but my point is the penalty kill. It was great last year. It has not been good this year. 1 for 11 against the Golden Knights there, and the Golden Knights were 3 for 13 against them. So Kings power play killed the Oilers early on until they made an adjustment. We'll see if the Stars can do that. That could maybe be, if the Stars win the special teams and goaltending battle, they'll win. But I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to overcome the 5-on-5 play from the Oilers. But yeah, the Stars' third best penalty kill in the playoffs, 86%, third best power play. So that's their path to win is special teams goaltending. But the Oilers, I think they can beat you in so many different ways that pick them is a good way to look at them here. Oilers -1.5 games, plus 170 could be a good look. But I feel like if you're taking that, just take them correct score in 6 to win at home. Plus 450 could be a good look. You have any thoughts on the spread or exact score?
No, not really. It's a pick 'em. You might as well just play the series price. I don't know. I would only do like -1.5, whatever, if they were like -250 or something like that for a series. But even then, I would just parlay the -250 with other stuff. So yeah, I don't really fuck around with the spread stuff. Just it's a -110 for the series. Like, why bother with the spreads?
Yeah, it's low enough odds. Just take that. Player props here. Other tab, we have leading goal scorer Draisaitl 295, Rantanen 425, McDavid plus 450. McDavid has not been scoring. I don't think he will. I mean, he is an assist man. Hyman 9-1. You got Wyatt and Hintz at 11-1. Some long shots here. Corey Perry down to 20-1. Look at that respect there. Respect there now.
Yeah, okay. He must have got hammered by those 125s.
Yeah. None of these long. Maybe Connor Brown 80-1. Like he's showed up, but not sure if there's anywhere to look here for the leading goal scorer.
Robo at 16-1 is kind of interesting. I know he has been slow and obviously banged up in the early on, but I think that as he gets healthier, he'll be more productive. And we've seen that this guy is very streaky in terms of goal scoring. So the past few playoffs, like he'll dominate one team and then just be invisible the next. So it's possible that he really comes up here. So I want to back Wyatt, but at 11-1, and it's getting too short. But he's been all over the place once again. He just can't hit the fucking net. But that's necessary if you want to score goals in this league. But yeah, Draisaitl, it's tough to beat him. Definitely not McDavid at 450. He's deferring all the time. Like he's the ultimate power playmaker right now. So yeah, Draisaitl and Robertson would be the looks for me.
Yeah, looking at the individual expected goals numbers, Evander Kane is right up there behind Connor McDavid. So a 22-1 for Evander Kane. And looking on Dallas's side, I was shit talking Jamie Benn. He has 1 point, but he has 3.32 expected goals. And he's down at 75-1. If it's spread out, if that line comes alive, maybe that's worth a take there. But I mean, yeah, in a series with Leon Draisaitl and Mikko Rantanen, it's hard to really take anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at most points for this series. McDavid -105, Draisaitl 230, Rantanen 5-1. Any long shots worth it? Probably not here.
Probably not. Bouchard at 16. He's been very good, and if the Oilers power play really clicks, then he'll get all those assists or the Bush bombs, as it were. But yeah, I don't think that there's too much value there at 16.
I don't hate Rantanen actually at 5-1.
And potentially a short series. I just don't want to lay -105 for those points. Yeah, just not a big enough sample size. Who is that?
Mikko 5-1.
Yeah, I guess if you like the Stars, he's going to have to do a lot of work. But man, no, I don't want that. Wyatt at 50, much prefer that over the 5-1. I know he's not he doesn't have a ton of assists, but that's a pretty long price, I think. So I would much rather have that. Like I said, small sample size. You could have a 3-point game, and suddenly he's the price of Rantanen.
Yeah, I wish that I knew Thomas Harley was playing top power play, because DeBoer's saying they're going to just feel it out game by game, Heiskanen versus Harley, because Harley there at 60-1 could be interesting, but Heiskanen I imagine takes that back over at some point.
Yeah, this when that news comes down, these odds won't be affected, at least not immediately. So if you just pay attention to the beat writers, see who's on the first power play unit on the first practice. And then you can back him if he's on that unit.
Yeah. All right. Conn Smythe for these two teams. You got McDavid plus 380, Rantanen plus 460. Is there anyone else you're even potentially looking at for these two?
No, it's really just McDavid or Rantanen. I guess there's a tiny chance that Ottinger gets it. If Rantanen just goes invisible or gets hurt, well, he doesn't really get hurt, but if he just has a very quiet latter two series and Stars win the cup, Ottinger has been the second best goalie in the playoffs one might say the best, really, because the Hurricanes played two really weak teams offensively, whereas Ottinger's played the Jets with the best power play in the league and the Avalanche. So I think Ottinger's resume in these playoffs has been a lot more impressive. So there's a path for Ottinger to win, no doubt, but it's not something I'm going to be running to bet there, because it probably is just going to be Rantanen. And yeah, same kind of thing with McDavid. It's just tough to beat him, but the odds reflect that. So, and there's always a chance that Draisaitl can go nuke himself and put a bunch of the back of the net. So nothing too valuable right now in this side. The other side is a lot more intriguing, especially with the Panthers.
Yeah, definitely there. I mean, Ottinger, he has a path because Rantanen hasn't. If Rantanen, like you said, doesn't really show up in the final two rounds, Ottinger beats the Avs, Jets, Oilers, and Panthers en route to the Stanley Cup, like with a .919 save percentage, 2.47 goals against. You could see the voters voting for him. But yeah, McDavid plus 380 when the Oilers are plus 265 for the Cup is just take McDavid, because he could win it even if they lose.
Yes, he can.
Cup bets currently, you got the Panthers plus 260, Oilers 265, Stars 290, and Canes at 330. I think I'd just rather bet Conn Smythe guys at this point.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty late in the game, but yeah, it's I would rather do the Oilers series though than their cup bet, because I don't want to play the Panthers really. But if they get the Hurricanes, that's very, very, very good. But it's probably gonna be the Panthers. So I'm not running to bet them, and the Panthers there plus 230 when they have that the lonely day off between the Game 7 and Game 1. That's not a good market entry point for the Panthers at plus 230. I would wait until after Game 1 and then bet the Panthers, like you suggested with your bet of Hurricanes win Game 1, Panthers win series. So yeah, nothing too interesting here. I would rather just bet the long shot Panthers guys for Conn Smythe at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely the way I'm looking there. And speaking of Game 7, let's just look, or Game 1. Let's look at quickly the Game 1 odds. Tuesday, Panthers plus 105, Canes minus 125. Totals at 5.5, under minus 125, over plus 105 here. Really like the Canes here minus 125. Brought up the Game 1 series bet. The rest advantage here. Maybe a puck line at plus 205, but yeah, I think the Canes are able to take it to the Panthers in Game 1.
Interested to see if these power plays continue to be called. All these penalties. We've seen a lot of penalties in these playoffs, especially in the later stages of these series. We'll see if that continues. But if I think this is going to be an under series, so the under 5.5 at minus 125. It's looking okay to me with Bobrovsky playing well, Freddie Anderson playing well and healthy for now. And yeah, so I like the under the best of all in this game. I would like the Panthers, but it's just that disadvantage of being rather tired. You'd think anyway after playing Game 7, but we'll see. I'm not betting the Hurricanes or anything, but I'm not running to bet the Panthers considering that disadvantage. But yeah, under is my favorite one in this game.
Yeah, I'd look that way as well. And then the Wednesday Western Conference Final, Game 1. We'll probably be recording before this, but Oilers plus 105, Stars minus 125, same price there. Under 6.5 minus 130, over 6.5 plus 110. Any thoughts on this one?
I would go the other way in this game here with the over 6.5 and plus 110. I know we just credited and praised Ottinger with how good he's been, but I do think we'll see some more penalties here, and like I mentioned before, the Oilers power play I think is going to be due for some positive regression. Yeah, I think we'll see a high scoring series in this one. I think there'll be a lot more entertaining games just because the Hurricanes are playing on the other side and they are dull as fuck. So yeah, let's go with the high event game in the West. So over there, and of course I like the Oilers at plus 105 since I like them at the series, and there's no worry about being tired. I mean, Stars only had 3 days off themselves, so Oilers will be having a little more rest anyway.
Yeah, I gotta go with the over there, over 6.5 plus 110. I just looked up that the penalties per game thing in the playoffs here on the screen. Conference final, game one, there's a little bit more, and everything else is down. So maybe we see some power plays there in game one. So get to that over, especially with how the penalty kills have looked for the Oilers, especially. And yeah, I think Oilers in game one plus 105. Last series was the Stars' first game one win in years, I'm pretty sure. So would not be surprised to see Edmonton go on the road and get it done in game one. All right, so we have our puck buck bets to get to here first. Joel, you want to go first, or should I?
You go first. It's okay.
All right, so I'm taking that Carolina game one, Florida series at plus 350 for 25 puck bucks. I am taking Reinhart Conn Smythe 18-1 for 15 puck bucks. Carolina to win game one minus 125, also for 25 puck bucks. The over in that Edmonton Dallas game one for plus 110 for 20, and then give me A2 Luosterainen for Conn Smythe 300-1. Mr. Zero there for 5 puck bucks.
Yeah, copy paste 3 of those. You should probably guess which ones. Let's. I like.
Is right? Are you copying the series bet too?
No, Reinhart.
You already have a little.
I know I do. I can bet it again.
All right. No, I'm just letting you know in case you forgot. I'm just informing.
Yeah. No, I like to. Shit. Those point bets. I should have been looking at while you're going off. The Stankoven points. Do you have those up?
Stankoven leading points.
60-1 was it?
I can find it here pretty quickly. Series player props, series most points. Stankoven. Most points for Stankoven?
Yeah.
That's 150-1.
Oh, okay.
That's a solid bet there.
Yeah, give me $5 on that, and then there's somebody else I liked in that series. The same thing. It was also one of those long shots. So
was it Marchand at 35?
No. It was around 150-1 as well.
Was it A2 for 170?
Yeah, that's it. Of course it is.
Yeah, those are good ones. I'm not going to copy them, but those are ones I can co-sign there as well.
Yeah, give me Draisaitl most goals, whatever. I like cheering for the guy. 15 bucks. That's $2.95.
$2.95. All right. There's a puck bets at the 53-minute mark of the YouTube video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe while you are there. Also subscribe, leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'm going to potentially do some sort of player prop thing for the series and games on Tuesday, but not promising anything. Got to see what I have on my schedule, but we should be back Wednesday, Joel. Wednesday, like 6-ish.
Yep, works for me.
All right. Anything else?
Although I don't know what we're going to talk about. There'll only be one game being played since then or before then. We can go after if you're awake.
What time is that? At 8? If that's at 8, we can maybe do an after one. I'll see. That's 8. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
If not, Thursday.
Yeah. All right. Anything else here before we close it out?
You bet the Pacers too?
Well, no, just fuck the Knicks. Fuck New York sports in general.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, I bet the Pacers and Halliburton East Finals MVP. So
there you go.
Indiana. Nothing like my bets on the Thunder, but just a little bit of Indiana there. Fuck the Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck them too. Like I get the first series where I laid a big number on them, and then they barely pulled through, and then they fucked up the Celtics. Oh, stupid bipolar team. But
it's just the fucking fans like flooding the streets for like a series win. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're in the Eastern Conference Final. Like that's nothing to celebrate.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Yeah. On that note, follow us on Twitter. Get in the Discord. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at rgilbertsop.
And I'm Joel Meyer, and I guess you'll find me looking for a movie to watch or something because there's no basketball, no hockey tonight. So.